and as well as of your parents. Dear students, today we are going to start the very first chapter of civics of class 8, the Indian Constitution. Dear students, you have already studied in class 6th and class 7th about Constitution. Today, in this chapter, we will discuss what is Constitution, why does a country needs a Constitution, and key features of the Indian Constitution. Dear students, let us begin this chapter with a game, that is football. My dear students, every one of you have heard about football, and I hope that some of you have even played it. Dear students, that it describes that football is a game of fits which involve fits. In this game, if the ball touches with the hands, that is considered as foul. Except goalkeeper, no player is supposed to touch football with hands. If it touches, it is considered as foul. So not only in cricket or football or hockey, each and every game have its rule and regulations. So dear students, when we are in the society, when we are in the nation, we have such kind of rule and regulations. These kind of rule and regulations are meant for each and every one of us. Dear students, in the same way, for a society or a country, we need constitution. See, what does you mean by constitution? Let us come to know a written document, a written document in which such rules are written. Is known as constitution. So dear students, it is known as constitution. In this constitution, today the countries which are democratic are likely to have a constitution. It is not necessary that a country which have a constitution is democratic. In India, in 1934, Indian National Congress, INC, constituted a assembly for constitution. Between 1946 and December 1949, a constituent assembly drafted a constitution for India that came into being on 26th of January and 1950. Dear students, 299 members involved to write the Indian Constituent Assembly. 299 members were involved to write the Indian Constitution, in which Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, who is known as Baba Saheb, is known as father of Indian Constitution. He was the chairman of the drafting committee, and many more members were involved with him. You know, dear students, you might be knowing it took 2 years 11 months and 18 days time to complete the Indian Constitution. Dear students, as you discussed in the beginning about the game football, like football, there are certain rules are there which are known as constitutive rules. We will have an example of the constitutive rules. Let's have an example of one of the neighboring country of India which borders in the north of India, that is Nepal. Dear students, Nepal was a monarchical country. 1990, a constitution was made in Nepal, and people of Nepal fought for struggle for the number of years. It lasted for the 12 years. In 2002, King Gyanendra, who was the king of Nepal, he rested all the powers with him and with his ministers, you can say with his members. Then finally, people were not satisfied with the constitution which was written for Nepal, and 2007, finally, people fought for the struggle of constitution, or you can say for a democracy. 2007, an interim constitution was made for Nepal. In this way, with this constitutive rule, the entire system of the democracy of Nepal was changed. Dear students, this is all about constitution. Now, why does a country needs a constitution? Let us come to know why does a country needs a constitution. It means, what is the need to have a constitution? Dear students, there are several purposes are there of the constitution. As you came to know, without certain rule and regulation, a game cannot be played. As you have seen in the beginning about the game of cricket, football, hockey, in the same way, a country also cannot be run without constitution. That is why it is very necessary, it is mandatory to have a constitution for democratic countries. India is a democratic country and we need constitution. Later, after independence, this task was completed with the help of Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar, who is known as the father of Indian Constitution. Dear students, let us come to the point now. There are several purposes are there of the constitution. We will discuss one by one about them. The first important thing is that a constitution of any of the country make sure that the leaders who are chosen by us, the representatives who are chosen by us, should not exercise more power. Many leaders are there, many politicians are there in a country under democracy. This ensures that these leaders should not exercise more power. We have an example, we have one storyboard here. Let us come to know about that storyboard. Dear students, according to the storyboard, there is a student whose name is Suresh. Suresh is the class monitor. He is very bully. Miss Rao, who is the class in charge, she has to go outside of the class because of some urgent work. She told monitor to hold the class. She went out of the class, and Anil, who is the class monitor, he starts picking up on Suresh, another student of the class. He started shouting on him, and he said him, let the ma'am come back in the class, I will complain about you. He said, what I have done? He is asking for his mistake, and even there is no mistake done by him. When Miss Rao came back in the class monitor starts complaining about him and said, ma'am, in your absence, he was shouting in the classroom, and he was not disobeying, he was not even following my orders. He was disobeying me. Dear students, Miss Rao, who is the class in charge, she told Anil to stay back after school, and she told him to write 100 times, I will not disobey my class monitor. She told you will have to write 100 times. He asked ma'am, what is my mistake? So this entire storyboard shows that as class monitor used his more power, he exercises more power, it means he is misusing the power. In the same way, these political leaders can exercise more power. And in constitution, this makes sure that this kind of practices should not take place in any of the country. This is the main purpose to have a constitution for any of the nation. Second thing is that, dear students, what does happen? Country like India, where many religions are there, many castes are there, sometimes what does happen? That the caste or the religion which is in majority, it's try to impose its majority over the minority. There is example. Even this is the duty of the Indian Constitution to make sure that these kind of unhealthy practices should not take place. Dear students, we have one example related to the same point. Take an example. In one classroom, there are 40 students are there. And out of 40 students, 30 students are boys and 10 are girls. A game period is about to begin. Boy says that we will play cricket as usual. Girls wants that today we want to play football for a change. But boy says no, we will play cricket. So dear students, it shows that boys are in majority and girls are in minority. It means they are trying to impose their will over the minority. So they will have to accept, girls have to accept the wish, the desire of the boys because they are in majority. Dear student, these kind of unhealthy practices should not take place in any of the democratic country. Dear students, you might have seen such kind of practices are taking place today in many countries of the world. Take an example of our neighboring country, Pakistan. In Pakistan, there is a majority of Islam. In Sri Lanka, there is a majority of Sinhala people. So these people are trying to rule the minorities in their own countries. This should not happen. That is why a country needs a constitution. And dear students, the third example which we are going to discuss here is that it protects ourselves, it saves us from ourselves. This thing may be strange to you, it may look odd to you, but this really happens, dear students, as per the interest of the person, as per the interest of the society. We have another example from the same chapter. Dear students, there is a student, her name is Sheila. She wants to prepare for her examination. She has to write exam tomorrow, and today there is her favorite TV program. She wants to watch that also. Now she has to take a decision whether she wants to watch a TV program or she wants to revise for the examination. So when she is thinking, her parents are talking with her. She told this situation to the parents. She told, if you are going to watch TV program, I will also have to watch the same program because I can't leave my favorite TV program. And if today you are going to avoid this, I will also avoid this. Finally, she took the decision that she has to prepare for examination. When she went to write examination next day, she was very happy to see the question paper of the exam. Why? Because the last two chapters which she revised previous day, one day before the examination, many questions were there from that chapter. So what does it shows? It shows that it saves us, it protects us from ourselves. That is why we need a constitution. Dear students, not only this much, even many purposes are there of the constitution. So country like India, many countries are there in the world where there is a constitution today. And it is mandatory for all democratic countries to have a constitution, as I discussed in the beginning also about this fact. So dear students, this is all about constitution. Now let us move to the next step of the chapter, that is key features of the Indian Constitution. Dear students, now we will discuss about the key features of the Indian Constitution. Let us discuss about them. Key features of Indian Constitution. Let us come to know what are the key features of the Indian Constitution. The first feature of the Indian Constitution is federalism. What is federalism? Dear students, this refers to the more than one level of government in a country. In India, we have more than one level of government in our country. We have government at the central level, state level, and local level. Panchayati Raj is the third tier of the federalism. These are the things which is practiced in the Indian Constitution. First one is central government. Second one is state government. And dear students, third one is known as Panchayati Raj. This is, as I told you, this is the third tier of the government, which is called local level, and in some countries of the world it is known as community level also. We can say it local level. Dear students, let us move to the second feature of the Indian Constitution, that is parliamentary form of government. What is parliamentary form of government? Parliamentary form of government. My dear students, now let us come to know about the parliamentary form of government. What does this shows? Dear students, what does it says? It says that it is the other feature of the Indian Constitution which provides that the different tiers of the government shall constitute of the representatives elected by people, and it also guarantees universal adult franchise. It means that we can choose our representatives and we can contest in election. This whole process is given a name parliamentary form of government. Dear students, let us move to the third feature now. The third feature of the Indian Constitution is, what does it known as? It is known as separation of powers. Separation of powers. What does it mean? Separation of power means in India we have three organs, and these three organs are known as the legislature, the executive, and third one is known as the judiciary. Let us come to know about these three organs. First one is known as legislature. What does it means? When we choose our representatives, all the representatives are known as legislature. And next is the executive. A group of people, you can say a small group of people who are responsible to implement these decisions is known as the executive, and the third is known as the judiciary. All the high courts and supreme courts is combinedly known as judiciary in India. Dear students, what does it makes? It makes sure that no organ of the government should exercise more power. These organs can check the power of each other. That is why it is known as checks and balances system also in the Indian Constitution. Dear students, as per the judiciary, no organ can exercise more power. It makes sure that all the organs are working smoothly, nothing wrong goes in between these organs, you can say. Dear students, next feature of the Indian Constitution is secularism. Now, let us discuss about secularism. What is secularism? You might have heard this word many times in civics, so many times. In class 6 you studied, in 7th also you studied about secularism. What does it say? Dear students, India is a secular country. India does not promote any of the religion. It is secular state. State word is referred to the government here, central government. In Pakistan, they have their own state religion, Islam. And many countries of the world, they have their own religion. But India is the country where all the religions are given equal importance. Government does not promote any of the religion. This is the fourth feature of the Indian Constitution. Dear students, the last feature of the Indian Constitution is fundamental rights, which we are going to discuss in the second part or second video of this chapter. So dear students, I hope that every one of you have understood very well about the Indian Constitution, definition, why do we need a constitution, why does a country needs a constitution, and key features of the Indian constitution. Thank you very much. Have a good day.